Hello and welcome again to Fox Comics and Games in beautiful downtown Marion, Illinois. And we are here in a post-Christmas glow. It is Thursday, December 27th. These comics should have been here Wednesday, December 26th, but UPS had slightly different plans. But nonetheless, they're here and we move forward. So we're going to start out today. We're going to probably bust through these pretty quickly, so bear with us, but we're behind. First book is Action Comics from DC, issue 1006. As we always do, there's the variant cover, which we carry several variants of that as well. Then next up from Archie Comics, we have issue 701 of Archie. And then also from Archie Comics, we have issue 4 out of a 5 shot total of Archie 1941. And then next up from DC, we have Batgirl issue 30. And as we always do, we show, and that is cover of the week. This week is Batgirl number 30. She took it in a very close voting, but that's the variant for Batgirl 30. Next up from DC is Batman Beyond, issue 27. And then a really wild-looking variant cover for that. That's Batman Beyond, issue 27. Then next up from Vertigo, we have Books of Magic from the Neil Gaiman Sandman universe. And that is issue 3 of Books of Magic. People are really enjoying that and said it's really, really well done. Next up from Boom Studios, we have Bone Parish, issue 5. Bone Parish from Cullen Bunn. Good book. If you could snort the bones of a dead person and then experience parts of their life, would you? Next up from Dark Horse Comics, issue 12 of BPRD, The Devil You Know. Great Mike Mignola run. And then next up from Marvel, a very highly anticipated relaunch of this classic. Really, really looking forward to this. And several of these are in our top 5 covers. I'll just let you drink in the beautiful covers that they have for that, but that's one of them in the top 5. That's the standard cover, or cover A, and then we have one of the variants there also in the top 5 covers of the week. This is another variant, did not make the top 5. This variant did make the top 5. We can't tell you about the Scotty Young variant because apparently Diamond didn't see fit to put those in our box, but we will get those replaced very quickly. We have the blank cover variants for those of you that like going, say, to the Saluki Comic Con or Harrisburg Comic Con. There you are. You've got something where artists can sign your books for you. Next up from Marvel, issue 8 of Deadpool. And we like that Deadpool. Why? Because that Deadpool, he funny. All right, now, next up from DC, we have issue 995 of Batman Detective Comics. Getting closer and closer to the Magic 1000. And then the beautiful, also in our top 5 covers of the week, the Detective variant cover is just gorgeous. Beautiful work on that. Next up from Boom Studios, issue 3, again, Cullen Bunn, because I just like saying Cullen Bunn, or if you put 2 of his books together, you've got buns. Nice buns. Empty Man, issue 3. I digress. Next up from Image is issue 4 of Errand Boys. I was supposed to make this a faster video, and I'm dragging it down. I'm sorry. Then from Marvel, next up is the Fantastic Four, issue 5, which, using their legacy numbering, happens to be the 650th issue, but it is issue 5 of this current run of Fantastic Four. Looks like part of the Wedding series still going on, so that's cool. Next up from DC, we have issue 61 of The Flash. And as always, the Flash variants kick tail. Then from Image, we have Gasolina, issue 14. Another highly anticipated, long-awaited title. From DC, this is issue 4. There's going to be 9 total. This is issue 4, so we're almost halfway there, of Heroes in Crisis. And that's a great cover. Again, in the top 5 covers of this week. And that's the variant cover for Heroes in Crisis. Really, really cool book. Then next up from Dark Horse Comics, issue 2 of Hellboy and the BPRD, 1956. Then from Vertigo, we have issue 3 of Hex Wives. It's actually been kind of interesting. DC brings us issue 6 of Injustice versus Masters of the Universe. That's right. DC also brings us issue 4 of Justice League Odyssey. Great cover there, as is the variant cover, just absolutely beautiful. Then next up from Marvel is issue 3 of Killmonger. And then we have from Image Publishing issue 20, which if you're not reading this series, you need to. In fact, I would read any Rick Remender you can get your hands on. But Rick Remender's Low, that's issue 20 of that. And then next up from Image, a part of their Maneater series, this is Maneater's Cat Fight, A Boy's Guide to Dangerous Cats. And so that's kind of a side shoot. It's actually issue 4 of Maneaters. But it's a side shoot on Dangerous Cats. Next up from Dynamite, again, one that's going over really, really well here in the store, a relaunch going over really, really well. Mars Attacks, issue 3, and that is the standard cover. And then here is one of the variant covers, and that did make our top 5 covers of the week. Very iconic, very beautiful. Next up from Marvel, issue 7 of Mr. and Mrs. X. And then from DC, we have issue 3 of Old Lady Harley. I think Mr. Fox may be married to her. Next up from Burger Books, which is an offshoot of Dark Horse, we have the last of a 4-part series called Olivia Twist, kind of a reimagining of Oliver Twist as a female this time and in a more modern era. Marvel brings us issue 4 of The Punisher. So issue 4 of The Punisher is out. DC Comics is up next, and they bring us issue 11 of Raven, Daughter of Darkness. And then from Image Publishing, we have issue 18 of Redneck. And then Marvel brings us issue 17 of Runaways. Brian Michael Bendis and Jinx World bring us issue 5 of Scarlet, which again, I'm going to just tell you people, if you're not reading some of Bendis's Jinx World stuff, you need to jump on that. I think you'll really, really enjoy it, especially people who enjoyed some of his work at Marvel. I think it's stunningly well done. Next up from Marvel, we have issue 4 of Shatterstar. And that wild-looking cover on that. And then next up from DC, we have issue 12 of The Silencer. And then next up from Marvel, we have Star Wars, Age of the Republic, Obi-Wan Kenobi. And a beautiful cover. That was in our top 5 covers of the week. And that's what the variant looks like. Again, just a gorgeous cover. Then next up, also from Marvel, we have issue 3 of Star Wars, Han Solo, Imperial Cadet, kind of exploring the younger life of Han Solo. Then next up from Dark Horse Comics, number 4 of 4 of Stranger Things. Great comic book rendition of this series. They've done a very good job. I think Jody Hauser is the one heading it up, and they have done phenomenally. That's one of the variant covers. Just gorgeous, as is the photo variant. And no, that's not a big Slim Jim that he's eating. So, spoiler alert. Next up from Dark Horse Comics, we have issue 5 of Sword Daughter. A really, really nice book. Think you would enjoy that. Then from Marvel, we have issue 1 of a highly anticipated relaunch of Superior Spider-Man. This is what the variant cover looks like. The original cover we put in the top 5 covers of the week. This is a Scotty Young variant, and you can see it should be in the top 5. Mr. Fox was outvoted on that one. Next up from DC, we have issue 11 of the Terrifics. Also from DC, we have issue 32 of Titans. And then we have the Titans variant. Next up from Marvel, we have Tony Stark, Iron Man, issue 7. And then also from Marvel, we have issue 7 of Uncanny X-Men. And then we have issue 8 of Uncanny X-Men. I guess that's 2 weeks in one shot. Then from Image Publishing, a very widely read in our store book, Unnatural, issue 6. Also from Image, issue 187 of The Walking Dead. Marvel brings us issue 2 of Winter Soldier. Also, Marvel brings us issue 1 of Wolverine, The Long Night. That looks to be a pretty cool looking series. DC brings us issue 61 of Wonder Woman. Again, as you can see, a beautiful variant cover on Wonder Woman. Then Boom Studios brings us WWE issue 24. And last but not least, from Marvel, we have X-Force #1 relaunching, and with a gorgeous cover on that, and that's what the variant cover looks like on the X-Force #1. We hope you can get down here on a day that we got them a day or so late. Hurry into Fox Comics and Games, beautiful downtown Marion, Illinois. Thanks.